I see it now. Okay, we're good. And welcome for those just joining us from Don's channel because he forgot to hit go. We've got Kenny with RBH with us. And I see there are a lot of people that aren't saying hello. So the rules of the show are that if you have a question, you have to ask it, because that's why we're here. We're here to answer the questions. And
Deep Thoughts by Giles McCoy.
That's right.
If you have a question, you got to ask it.
You have to ask it. Mad Piranha's in the house. Welcome, Mad Piranha.
The Mad Piranha, what's up, man?
Yeah. So the topic tonight is going to revolve around subwoofers, right? And if you remember from last week, we have continuity week to week, so make sure that you are here every week so you can keep up to the times, right? We talked a lot about setting up a family room, and we talked about subwoofers, right? And that got me thinking. And then Kenny was like, what's up? And I was like, oh, Kenny's doing cool stuff with the subwoofer coming up pretty soon. I don't know if anybody saw the picture of this car. I think it was like a Nissan Z, like from 4 or 5 or 6 years ago, and they had completely filled in the back of it and put it a 33-inch subwoofer back there, right? It's huge. Well, RBH Sound said, hold my beer. They can do it too, because
hold my Coke Zero.
Hold my Coke Zero. We can do this too. So Kenny, what's coming up here in the future for you guys? What is this thing that I've heard of? This behemoth, this monstrosity, this Herculean
Subzilla, crushing Tokyo, Subzilla,
Subzilla,
right? Subzilla.
Well, people have been asking for a bigger sub, so 21, I guess, isn't big enough. So we're bringing it.
And what exactly are you going to be bringing? Can you talk about it? Is it public knowledge?
I mean, we talked about it last week with Shane Lee and Pierce Audio. We had a live stream, but it's another collaboration with Pierce Audio. They're helping us, and we're co-designing a 33-inch driver with both of our technologies to create just something that's unique to the industry and something that's just gonna blow minds and blow the dishes off the countertops.
That's awesome. So is this going to be like in true RBH Sound style, meaning that you guys you'll have like the fundamental design but then be able to apply this in different ways, kind of like the 21. You can do it vertically or horizontally, and you can do a dual 33s might be too much. But so is there going to be like a first SKU, and then is it customizable, or how does that look?
I mean, most of our stuff is customizable, and just as long as we have space constraints and we can make the performance of the speaker work within the parameters of the driver, we'll absolutely make something custom for people.
Man, I can't wait to see what this box with the driver in it looks like. Will there be mock-ups of it at some point, or I'm sure there already are, right?
Yeah, we've got preliminary mock-ups, but we're waiting to get a driver in-house because with all the changes that Shane's going to do to it to improve the performance, we really don't know what the TS parameters are going to be, and we're hoping to get them to a point where we can make a smaller box, because as it stands, it's huge.
Yeah. So the manufacturer's working on meeting RBH's pretty stringent requirements for the sub to operate in the home environment. They've already introduced 33, but not for the pro sound and whatnot. But home and pro are just different. I know
they really are.
Think, oh, my pro equipment sounds just no, it doesn't. It's not designed for home. It just doesn't. Sorry to burst your bubble.
Yeah, they're like, my 21 plays down to 35 hertz.
It's just so much shit out there, dude. People just like, they've cracked the code. I've got commercial speakers and they measure great. Chalkboard. But whatever you like. But they're re-engineering the sub to meet RBH's specifications, like they did with the 21.
Absolutely.
That's awesome, man. That is going to be super cool. And 2025 release,
we're hoping. Obviously, we got to get a driver in hands, but once we do, it should be a pretty quick turnaround because when we were doing that 21, we learned a lot and what we needed to do to reinforce such a powerful driver with such a powerful motor structure that, we think we got it down, but I mean, the 33 is going to be a completely different animal. So time will tell.
All right. So I'm going to share a website here. All right. So this, is this the correct Pierce audio?
It is.
All right. So they have a few recent pictures of the Pierce Audio Series 12K 33. So I assume this is kind of like the
That's not it.
the blank canvas that they're modifying from for you, maybe, or not at all.
Yeah, so that's kind of the starting point for sure.
Okay, so this is the product, and you guys are like, oh, look, they even call you out right here. For more information, please visit rbhsound.com.
Yeah, if you scroll up, you'll see the 21 in its glory.
Oh, look at that. Yeah. The unrivaled 21. Yeah. And everybody out there, I've seen this. I sniffed it, and when they didn't look, I even licked it. And it's an awesome subwoofer.
Oh, I've moved it, set it up, installed it, and heard it extensively.
I'm super jealous.
Mofo. In fact, I threw my back out. Actually, true story, with Shane trying to move that brick.
I remember that.
So we'll digress just a second. So the demo theater there in Utah, I believe you guys have like the 21 in the back, and then I think a couple of dual 12s up front, right? Yep. And it just thunders. I mean, it's this is what people just don't really understand, right? Folks are all like, to have adequate bass, I need to have 16 18s, just a crazy number of devices that, just is unreasonable. Really, anybody in their right mind in any typical normal home theater, a couple of these 21s or even the dual 21 box is enough.
One man's unreasonable is another man's hell yeah. Don't judge.
That is true.
I'm not judging. I'm just saying, most people, one of these, and they are set for life. Now, you don't get all the benefits of multi-sub and smoothing out response and all this kind of stuff, right? But just for raw getting down.
Yeah, I don't want to have a 33-inch sub articulating my low mid-range. You know what I mean? Like it needs to live in its realm. 60 hertz and below. You know what I mean? Then you get, like Ascendo calls it. Ascendo uses the 24 and the 33 and the 50 as their infrasonic. Then they call their 18s the kick subs, which is kind of cool and is right. So, multi-sub, a combination. Have some 18s, have a 33, have a 21.
I wonder what the Trinov would do with this thing, mixing it in with everything. Oh man, that's just beautiful. But hellaciously heavy, right?
300 pounds for the driver. That's what they said.
That's what they said. We're hoping that's not the truth.
Well, that's the neodymium magnets. That thing right there is looks like something they captured from Roswell.
It's got to have neomagnet on it. I mean, otherwise it's just. You'd have to put in, like a foot long or 2 feet long of ferrous metal to, magnet. It would be. This literally is one of those kind. You have the chain and the hoist, and you hoist the speaker up, and then you slide it over and drop it down into the box, and
engine
then
crane.
It's the hard bottle guy. He's on again. I'm sure the hard bottles are amazing.
The hard bottles are really good. I've got a hard bottle sub in this room right here.
Which one?
It's one of his older 18s. It was, I think this is from like 3 years ago or something like that. And when he was doing
I'm sure they're completely badass.
Oh, it's a good sub.
I'm sure they're amazing. Yeah.
All right.
There's so many really good subs, man. Like everybody wants to put their cards in a corner like it's a football game or politics, dude. GSG's making some killer stuff. RBH is making this outlandish killer stuff. JTR RTJ, who I'm extremely fond of, makes killer stuff. Per listen makes. There's the world is your oyster. I've owned at least 100 subs and heard even more in my long ass career. And I'm telling you, dude, today is the glory days of subs. There's so many, as long as they're sealed.
Oh, I do like a seal sub myself.
Oh my
I have
God,
to
there's
say.
no, dude,
Dude, I like a
you
seal
can
sub,
argue,
man.
you can argue all you want. You can raise hell on the internet. Period. The bottom line is sealed subs. You just might need more of them. Just sound completely. They just sound way better than. Occasionally, there's a ported sub that's really good. It's pretty good, or a push pull. Like per listen got in MNKUs and whatnot. But really, it's sealed subs just hit different, dude. They just do. Period. End of story. Drops the mic. Argue all you want. We all know better.
Yeah,
right, Kenny?
The only thing I don't like about ported, well, there's a lot of things I don't like about ported. I don't like how they phase shift under port tuning. I don't like how they unload under port tuning.
They're a problem looking for a solution, dude. Like they're just, hey, that's all I got. I need it to play loud, And there's a few that sound really good, like the RBH Dual 12. Shockingly sounds like a sealed sub, but of course the port's big enough to put two heads in. It's like
it's 6-inch port.
Shane Rich from RBH has really got that down, but I'm just saying, as a rule, don't get mad at me, guys, if you got a ported sub. I'm not saying your sub sucks. I'm just saying that on the whole, if you're going to do multi-sub, do sealed, because it just sounds better and it couples with the room better, plays lower, and it just hits different. It sounds tighter. It just does.
All right. Couple comments here. So Hi-Fi Haven says he would love to hear the beginning of Blade Runner 2049 on a 33-inch sub. The eyeball scene, that's one of my go-to scenes. And the video that I just did for your towers, I that's one of my scenes that I use there. I love that scene at the beginning for kind of not like super crazy low bass, but it's just I think it really puts subs.
John Wick 4, man.
Yeah, the doom doom doom. That's a good one.
Yeah.
So to clarify things for everybody, there is no 24. That is a mistake on my part. It is a 33 only. So they have a 21 and they said 24 is not big enough for us. So they're going 33. So Maddie Daddy 14, Maddie Daddy says when the 33 comes out, they could lower the price of the 21. They should just give them away, I think, and charge shipping separately to lower end costs. And these could be in-game infra subs for lots of people. Anybody who gets one,
a part-time job.
It will be in-game subs for them for sure. But I don't begrudge RBH making their money on these subs because they're worth every penny that they get out of them. But hey, lower prices, I'm not sad about that.
Well, we've actually got a couple different models soon to come out. We've built the first prototypes, but we are coming out with cheaper 21s.
What?
Yep.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Slightly smaller enclosure.
It's not cheaper, Kenny. It's more affordable.
More affordable. That's a good point.
Yeah. Daddy, you're in luck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only cheap 21-inch subs are power sound.
Did you say power sound?
Yeah.
Power sound audio? PSA? I don't know much about PSA. Bruce agrees with you, Don, on the Harbottle. He loves his dual 24s. Nothing wrong with that.
I'm sure he does.
And Nicholas says, great to hear the good news. The good news, God wasn't letting you get away from us this time. So good news. There you go.
Very good news.
Very good news. Yep. Very good news. And Hi-Fi Haven, who always has my back. Giles, you need to be the test pilot for the 33.
No, you don't.
Indeed, I do. He's always got my back.
No, absolutely not.
Sorry, overruled. Oprah Winfrey 9. What's up, guys? What's up? Mike F in the house. Donnie.
Yeah, Mike F's is my boy. Mike Force. His name's Force.
I like that. Mike Force. That's cool. Yeah, sounds like a comic book.
He's a badass dude. He's, even though he's got Martin Logan electrostats in his surround system.
What?
I can hear you.
What?
He got a good deal on.
Snow in Okinawa is here. Good to be here, says Nicholas. He missed last week. I don't know. So just so you know, and so everyone else knows, one of the topics that we're going to talk about a lot over the coming weeks and months really is media room / family room / living room setups, right? Because
like everybody has.
Because that's, if you think about it, that is 95 or more % of the market. on Facebook, that's kind of like a small echo chamber, and you see a lot of these purpose-built home theater rooms, but there's not a lot of them. I mean, that's them. They all come there to show up.
Listen, I design theater room like for a living, and I will have a dedicated room for a theater, secondary to my dedicated 2-channel room, because that's how I roll. But it's awesome, and you can do amazing things in a dedicated room. The really real reality is, Giles, is most people have a family room, open floor. It's not the ideal room, but you can still get amazing sound, and that's what we're going to explore.
Yep. And we're also going to talk about the other side of it, right? So Don's going to be championing the sound, but I'm also going to champion the video too, right? Because it's an important piece, and the world has changed, right? To get a big picture in the past, you had to use some kind of projection, which is really problematic, particularly in a family room, because family rooms, for the most part, are going to have a window, right? And
to the wall.
Yeah, any kind of ambient light just destroys it. I don't care what projector you got; it destroys it. Even ultra short throw with an ALR screen, it just destroys it. But nowadays, it's not like that anymore. I mean, 100-inch now, you can have beautiful picture, dude. The TCL QM7 98-inch is on sale right now for $2,000, not $2,200, not $2,300. They dropped the price to $2,000
for a 98-inch full high definition TV,
4K, not
4K,
not even 4K.
Like 4K. That's nuts,
dude.
I was selling Runco.
It's the one I have over here.
I was selling Runco 100-inch plasmas probably 16 years ago for $100,000.
Yeah.
100. I was selling 60-inch plasmas in 2002, Fujitsu's 60-inch for $18,000. This is we are in the Renaissance.
I know they're 115 inches on sale for like $14,000 right now, and it's
in a year it'll be
stunning.
5.
Yeah,
like think about it. It's awesome.
Yep, absolutely. So okay, Snow in Okinawa says subwoofer in living room question : I'm getting into building concrete furniture, a long TV console plus a room divider. So you're going to build a TV console and a room divider out of concrete. Okay. I'm curious about implementing a 12 to 17-inch sub into them. Should I do in-wall subs or build around a sealed sub? Are you guys following the question? Are you asking?
It really depends on your skill set, right? Ideally, you should take a sub and gut it and build a spot for the plate amp and build the sub, if you're going to make it out of concrete, into your its own enclosure out of concrete. And that would be more ideal. In fact, I have a friend who's building speakers and subs out of granite, and he's taking subs and buying them. Like, he's using SVS. And the reason he's using SVS is because it's really hard to find a plate amp with all the DSPs and all the apps.
Yeah, SVS has got that stuff.
You could say what you want about SVS, but their app system and their control of their subs is absolutely world-class, period.
Yeah, it's really good.
Only best by per listen, which is exponentially more expensive. And that's what he's doing. If you're going to build a cavity for it, the problem is this: when the sub goes bad, eventually your cavity, you're going to have to find a sub that fits it. It depends on the aesthetic. I mean, there's a lot of questions to that. Snow in Okinawa. So, but usually if you have the right ability to cut into the I don't know what kind of concrete you're using either. There's all kinds of different materials in the concrete realm, but that would be ideal.
You know what would go great in a concrete box? A 33-inch Pierce subwoofer.
Would it now? As long as your center channel was 6 feet in the
air. Okay. Here we go. He's predicting 24,000 for the 33-inch beast. That's that we have our first price guess there. Here we go. Any chance RBH is hiring for assembly warehouse for Maddie Daddy?
Are you in Utah?
You have to be in Utah because that's where they do all their.
Are you willing to swear an oath to RBH?
Business. Oh, you do have to swear an oath, don't you?
Yeah, feel free to send me an email. We can at least take your name down, and because we're predicting that 2025 is going to be our year that we, make some big strides. Time. And if we need the help, we'll definitely call on you if you're interested.
you know, I'd always heard of RBH and seen their ads back in the day. Then they kind of disappeared. Then I started working with Audioholics in 2018, and Gene kind of turned me on to RBH, and I got to listen to them. I was like, holy shit, wow, these things sound really good. And then I got my first RBH speakers and my second and my third. And I did some events with RBH and got to know the people, got to know Shane Rich, the designer, and just fell in love with, I mean, these guys aren't trying to get rich. This is a company. Obviously, they have to feed their families, and, you know, your patronage and buying their products helps do that. But these are people, if their bills were paid, they would work for free doing this because they're passionate about sound. They're like very few that I've seen. They're not a corporate conglomerate going, we need to make a speaker for this category, and we need to make, you know, headphones and, you know, earbuds. And no, they're focused on kick-ass audio products, custom built for your situation. I don't know of any other company that does what they do. And I love a lot of audio companies, and I love their products. And as Kenny knows, I mean, I talk to him about other brands. It's a little awkward, but not I do.
No,
but
it's
RBH. We've always said RBH was the best kept secret in audio, and we're hopefully trying to make that not the modus operandi moving forward. People need to know about this company and what they're doing and what they can make and what you get for your hard-earned money. $100 in RBH is usually $250, $300 on any other speaker brand. I'll put my reputation and name on it. That's the truth. And Jiles, you've experienced it. What do you think?
Yeah. So if people haven't watched the video yet, just dropped a video reviewing, your modular tower system, and it's outstanding. It sounds wonderful. It's really good.
Not just wonderful, the things that matter to most people, like number one, dynamics, right? Because most people here are home theater aficionados and enthusiasts. You want a speaker that plays loud, but not just plays loud, plays clean. Look at the popularity of Klipsch. Nobody in the planet can say, "Oh, Klipsch is the best sounding, amazing." I mean, maybe you do. I don't know, but they play loud. RBH does that, but in a much more musical and full sound. You know, there's no horns or no piercing sound or whatnot. It's an incredible product, and that's the reason. It's not like RBH is paying us. They can barely afford to pay Kenny. He's big money. but I'm just saying, in general, you get a lot more for your dollar with RBH. And I'm talking, I've done massive theaters. I did roughly a $2.5 million theater with all RBH. Massive room, 13,500 cubic feet. Rocks it. Just absolutely crushes it. It gives you sound up to depending on where you go on the line, similar to compression drivers and the horns that are so popular now because they're efficient and they play really loud. But they have a fuller sound, in my opinion, and that's subjective. But I like the fuller sound. There's no, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan.
Okay, question for Kenny, and maybe Don, you have input on this one too. And this is about RBH product in particular, right? So the speakers that I auditioned, they were dual 8 with a 4.7 or something inch ribbon. And I really like the sound, right? And all the things that you just talked about, Don, right? I mean, they would get louder than I could possibly ever listen to.
They were
very sensitive.
Stupid.
Yeah. And, I'm powering them off a little Class D from Trinov. But my question is there anything else in the lineup that you think would knock my socks off even more than that in a home theater application, right?
SVPRs.
It's got to be small package. It's got to be a small package.
Small package.
Oh, well. Yeah. I know you're used to
like that 821 is
small
about
packages.
Yeah. That 821 that you have in your theater right now with the SFTR is about the best we can do for the size. Like it's really compact, it's really good. I mean, we have on-wall variants that are
because you've had
smaller.
like a skinny 5-inch deep version, right?
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's what I have at my rears.
And do they have the same kind of tonal quality and output that you have in the
absolutely
like a 1.5 deep version like I've got?
Yeah. Just the difference is the bass extension. Where the on walls are gonna roll off around 60, the freestanding one will roll off around 50 to 40.
Right on. Okay. So, no, that's I would recommend anybody who's thinking seriously about buying or upgrading their speakers and they need something in this size. Man, it's just really good, right?
Can we take a second for the measurement called? Woo, measurement. The measurement.
Yes. Let me see.
So Kenny is working with Aaron, who's a good friend of mine, and I adore, and I think he's this badass. Aaron's amazing, and we don't always agree, but I love that Aaron's putting people on notice. Kenny, when Aaron gets caught up, Kenny is sending speakers to Aaron to be measured and run through the gauntlet of the Kleppel machine. So yes,
I'm gonna have to buy one of these stupid Klippel things, aren't I?
Yeah, they're like $80,000. So
whatever. I mean, it's just a business expense.
Well, I know you have to make money like that.
I can just write it off on my taxes.
But you got to know how to use it too. Aaron's an engineer.
Oh, you saying I don't know how to measure a speaker? Is that what I'm hearing?
I'm absolutely saying you don't know how to use a Klippel machine, but you can learn.
Not yet.
You can learn.
Just give me some time.
Aaron does a valuable service to this industry.
Yeah, no, that's definitely not my bag.
He's not a jerk.
Yeah, it's definitely not my bag.
Other people that are built on measurements.
Oh, there are some really horrible ones out there.
The measurement cult.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a couple live streams on Audioholics about how you need to understand measurements and how you need to not make your buying decision based just on measurements, because you're screwing yourself if you do. Period.
Yeah, there's truth in that.
Absolutely. I'll die on that fucking hill.
And then there's a lot of measurements that are just irrelevant, right? You're just measuring stuff that's inaudible.
Measurements are good, but when you take a speaker and put it in a room, those all go to shit. Anyways, I'm not going to get into it tonight. But
Don's getting riled up.
Trust me.
Riled. Okay. So let's go back and get these comments real quick. So Nicholas, I don't know if I can call you Nick, says his dream is a 50-inch sub wall mounted center stage in my 2-channel room. Ooh,
wow. So have you heard the 50 before, or is it just a dream because it's 50 inches?
Oh, I've got an alarm going off. I hate it when alarms go off and I don't know why they're going off. So that's his dream, 50-inch. And then, okay, we talked about that one. The modular towers are awesome. Agreed. Bruce Carter says he's a fan of RBH. They were one of his highlights of M-Wave 2024. That's cool. Right on. And then we've got, my guess is going to surprise a lot of people with their 33 under 20K for sure. My guess is the driver costs around 3,500. That's exactly how much it costs if you buy one, not their version, but just the version off the website. He's guessing 16 to 18K on his cost. I'm guessing 20K up. And then Nick says no replacement for displacement. And Jason says he's working on a home theater business plan, and I would love to have RBH sound as a speaker line. So Jason, my suggestion is to go to the RBH website. There'll be contact information there, and I'm sure they would love viewers.
Yeah, on our website, there's RBH and Co. And then there's become a dealer, and just fill out the form, and we'll contact you.
That's cool. It's a great line, and dude, one of the things I like about it is whatever application you need in whatever project you're working on, they probably have something to fit it, and if they don't, they can make it. Yeah, they can make it. That would be cool. Kenny, does RBH have any experience shipping overseas? He's in Australia. He does not want to buy. What's that one brand that's in Australia? Cricks. He doesn't want to buy Cricks.
Silly rabbit, Cricks are freaking.
Yes, we do. In fact, closest we've shipped there is we have a customer in New Zealand that bought some SVTRS towers. So yes, we can work with you on that.
He got the good ones.
Yeah.
All right. So reach out. All the information is there. And if anybody has any problems ever getting in contact with guests or anything like that, I'm always available. You guys know where to find me. I'm not hard to find, and I can definitely be the glue to put stuff together. And since this is my show, I get 10% of anything that Kenny sells here. So just say
You shill. I'm a shill.
You're a shill. So Nick says he has not heard the 50. So Don, I think there was something you wanted to say about that. He was like, "You're like, have you heard the 50?"
I would, before I spent $90,000, I would probably want to listen to it. And I think Ryan Carpenter up in St. Louis has that in his theater. If you ever wanted to hear it,
has anybody? So it sounded like he wanted to use it in a 2-channel system. I don't know if it's going to be like a thing for 2-channel.
As long as you got a BFR, big beep room, a big room.
Yeah. I mean, that's
not multiple 18s or 21s? Like,
why not just 2 18s stereo left and right?
Well, it depends on how big the room is. Yeah, I'm a big proponent of 18s.
That's for me. And when people are like, "What do I need to have a perfect experience?" And I say, well, maybe not a perfect experience, but most people are very happy in a home theater with 2 sealed 18s. Like the vast majority of folks. That's plenty of woofage.
Most people think 2 18s is extreme. It's a lot of bass. It's a lot of bass.
It is, but it gives you, I think, all the headroom that you're right. I mean, a couple of 15s, that's a lot of freaking bass.
Jiles, when you come down here next month to my house and we get to jam out, hopefully you can come over here early before the crowd gets here, and we'll play some stuff. And I got 4 18s. We'll see what that does.
Oh, dude, I've had 4 21s in my theater before.
Oh, I'm sure.
I know.
But,
I know it's a lot.
Really good 18s.
A lot of bass. Yeah. I don't think that I've got the 18s or the speakers that you had at the time. So that's I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to having
you. Yeah. He also says, I'm in Australia with dual JTR RS2s, and it's definitely possible to import them. All right. That's cool. And he says the 50 would be wow factor. It would definitely be wow factor. There's no question. And then aesthetics are important to SIO. RBH can look so clean and stylish in living rooms. That said, Cricks sounds pretty incredible. Have people in the US heard Cricks in person? Yeah, I heard Cricks in Bangkok. So I've never heard them in the USA, but I heard them at a place called Theater House. You guys go Google Theater House Bangkok, and they have a humongous theater with a full Cricks system in it. And I thought it sounded great.
I mean, how much better can they sound than the 10 other horn-loaded commercial, quasi? I mean,
no, they were great. I think
they're awesome. I'm sure they're kick-ass.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're right. They are what they are, right?
I mean, I don't mean to pee on anybody's parade, but I mean,
you just did though.
I know, but it's the truth. I mean,
you just did.
There's like 10 different brands that all have the same shit. I mean, real similar. I mean, crossover tweaks and this and that, but I mean, whatever.
You know what I want to hear?
What?
Mag Theatron. Have you heard of those guys? Mag Theatron?
Transformers, more of them.
They're from somewhere in Europe, and they were at Cedia, and I did a short video on their stuff. They didn't have any of it playing though, but I just like the name, right? It does make me think like of Megatron, right? Mag Theatron. I think somebody just released a video on YouTube. I'll have to go back and watch that and see what it is. But I got to hear these Mag Theatrons. I think they're horn loaded, kind of like Cricks, kind of in the same vein there. I think.
At the end of the day, people, when it comes to subwoofers, need to really ask themselves what they want. Do you want impactful? Do you want to impress your friends when they come over? Because that's what most people want with big sound, big bada boom. Do you want accuracy in your sound along with big sound? I mean, there's a lot of factors, and people really need to understand their own needs. If you're just buying as many big subs as you can for the impact, that's cool. I got zero issue with it. But, is it a 2-channel and a surround system like my systems are? 2-channel first, surround sound second. It really depends on what you want. My Scott Newby's a really good friend of mine. He has 2018s. It's like godlike sound, 160 dBs or something.
It's like car audio volume level.
Well, yeah, and that's his deal. And I'm sure it sounds great even at lower volumes. Scott's amazing. I'm sure it's cool. It's not what I want. It's not my deal, but that's his deal. Bass brings us together. It's about what you want and you're trying to achieve. After decades in the industry and having countless amount of systems in various homes, what matters to me is how good it sounds, because they'll all play loud. I mean, good systems will play loud and be dynamic. What are you looking for? Are you looking just to shake the foundation of your house? Are you looking for bass that sounds natural and accurate when something hits? When you do that Ready Player One demo in my house, it's impactful as hell when it needs to be, but then it goes away. It's not looming bass all the time. Some people like that, and who am I to judge what you like?
Dude, do your hands like that again one more time.
What?
Like you
who am I to judge? Who am I to judge?
It looks like the lighting changes. It's like you got special effects. Do you see it, Kenny?
Yep.
Oh wow.
Got to turn that auto mode off.
Everybody's like, behold in my darkness and despair. I know not.
Lightning. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so a couple more comments here. Bruce, welcome, Mr. Carter. And dude, there's like 40 people out there that need to say something. Come on. He says 24s hit different than 18s. Trust me, he upgraded from his JTR 18s. All right. I would love to have a room full of 24s to compare with. I've never had a 24 before.
I don't. I want 18s and then maybe a 33 or a 24 or whatever, you know what I mean? Like for infrasonic, and cross them over differently. That's what I want. I'd rather have a few more 18s. But what I like and what you like is totally different. And
you know what I think would be cool?
I'm right and you're wrong. It does not mean that at all.
I think 2 21s and a 33 would be the bee's knees.
That would be cool.
I think
that's the one.
4 to 6 18s and a 33 would be more the bee's knees to me.
I don't think my room can physically hold it. My room can't hold it. I'm thinking in context of my small space. I don't know. But no, I agree with you. That would be awesome too.
I like bass that's accurate and like on music and it has decay in it. But when you're playing something important, like the best demo, in my opinion, out there is the gunfight scene. With the Open Range, that movie Open Range.
Yep.
Nobody ever saw it.
I've never seen that before.
The gun sight. If you're looking for
you need to
if you want to see how actually accurate your bass is, not just loud and boomy, watch the gunfight scene from Open Range.
But do they have a scene where they say, "Lo, though my father's mother is passing on to the dead"?
Lo, there do I see my mother.
That thing.
Lo, there do you see my mother, my sister, my brother. Lo, do I see the line of my people back to the beginning. Lo, that they call to me and beg me, take my place among them in the halls of Giles McCoy, where the brave shall live forever.
Right? Let's go, Antonio. Let's do it.
Whatever.
All right,
whatever.
So I have Open Range on my list now.
You should.
I have a lot of Dawn stuff on my list that I haven't gotten to yet. Still haven't done Shogun yet. One day.
Listen, who is an influencer or whatever babblehead on YouTube to tell somebody what they should like and not like? Most people are trying to, within their budget, achieve the maximum amount of sound pressure level because that's what they hear that impresses them. They want to impress their friends. That's what they know. And then they do all this, Dirac and blah, 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 and the measurements and blah, blah, blah. And they get sound and they think they love it. And if they love it, that's good for them. I'm going for accurate, just at all volumes, all dynamic ranges, just really good sound. That's what I like. What I like is not necessarily what you like or want, period. It's cool. Mm-hmm. Totally cool.
And Nicholas says his buddy has full Crick 724 Dolby Atmos system, but using floor standards and soft dome surrounds and Atmos, dual PB4000 subs, and he just says that the 4000s can't keep up after hearing JTRs. That's just a different kind of class of sub. Yeah, that's
it's apples and oranges, bro.
Yeah, the JTRs are pretty hardcore stuff.
Oh my god, they're
pretty.
Nothing that FPS makes, period, that can keep up with anything JTR makes.
He also says no room for bass bloom.
Nope.
no muddy bass there. And
well,
then
it's like a lot of people have the subs always there, like this. You can't escape the subs. It's all. it just kind of creeps its way into everything. It's just not there when it needs to be, and it goes away. It's always there. And
so Kenny, this one's for you.
Yep.
Paul says he's looking forward to all the reviews that'll come out over time about RBH stuff, I think. And then he says, how does the RBH impression soft dome versus the air motion transformer compare? So your domes versus your AMTs, tweeters. What's the difference from your perspective there in those?
So they're both going to perform very well as far as a tonality perspective. They're both going to be very, very neutral. You're just going to get a little more high frequency extension with the AMTs, a quicker sound, faster transient response, just more hi-fi out of the AMT rather than the soft dome. Still a wonderful driver, and if you're balling on a budget, I can't go wrong with it. I love it. So it's really hard because the way Shane Wrench engineered these drivers is they're voiced very, very neutral, and so they're going to present your music as it's meant to be heard.
Yeah, but I got to say, those AMTs, you got to give them a shot. I mean,
well, I'm doing a full review of the dome tweeter system here.
Oh, that's cool. I want to hear what you got to say about it. That'll be cool to hear.
The impression series, in fact.
But man, just those AMTs. Because so my reference is a Brillium tweeter, soft dome, Brillium dome tweeter. That's not as sensitive as the RBH stuff, and I still like the sound coming off those. But man, the RBH is just pretty impressive, pretty impressive. Then we have I've struggled with liking subs until I heard my first pair of JL Audio F12. Okay, yeah, the JL Audio F112s are special. I mean, they're not like super huge drivers, but they sound right. If that makes sense.
I've been a JL Audio dealer for decades.
They sound right.
Yeah. So, and JL Audio is amazing. Their architectural stuff's the best. Period. But for what an F112 or F113, you can get a lot more with other brands. Just more output. Same kind of tonality, same kind of impact, same kind of punch. Just more output. That's just the bottom line. Period. In the story.
Yeah.
I've owned 6 different JL Audio subs, including 113s.
And then he says he's yet to hear any RBH, JTRs, or SVS. So, I've heard the RBH in their studio, and then I've heard JTR a little bit in different places, but I've never really sat down for any long period of time with the JTR system to listen to it. And then the SVS 17s, the new ones, are just hella loud. I mean, their ported version is hella loud. I mean, it's really loud. They put out a lot of bass.
They're great.
A lot. So what other subs should he be chasing if JL Audio 12 inchers are his jam? So Don, just like you were saying, Kenny says it's RBH, obviously, if you're looking for it.
Well, I'll just tell you, that's what I've got in my system is I've got 8 12s, and I just love the reference 12 from RBH. Like I have yet to hear a better driver, in my personal opinion. But yeah, they're tuned really, really well. They're quick, they're fast. In fact, the Unrivaled 12 that we just came out with this year is my favorite sub by far.
Right on.
Yeah, cool. I mean, RBH per listen would all be subs to listen to. M&K. I mean, there's a lot of competitors. Depends on what the price range is now on the 12s. I think they're still $5,000 a piece. So you can get like RS2. You almost can get the dual 12, can't you, Kenny?
Yeah,
RBH
the dual 12 sealed for 50/50, and if you want the ported one, then it's 5,500. The sealed single, they start at 1,750.
Okay, so you'd have to go to the JL dual 12, which is a lot more than that to get that kind of sound. Definitely look to RBH. That's a ticket. If it's in the 5,050, is that what it costs?
5,050 for the dual 12
plus sealed. The amp, or
that includes the amp.
Includes the amp. Oh, dude,
yeah, very nice.
Passive, it's 30/50.
I'd take that bet all day long. I'd put the whole house on it.
All right, now we got Mike Force. Thoughts on GSG subs, 18s or 21s? So let's talk a little bit about GSG. So for the folks that don't know, so GSG is they started out as a flat pack company, so they were like the IKEA of subwoofers. So folks that were looking to put some sweat equity into a subwoofer would buy the boxes from GSG, and then they would go out and buy whatever driver they wanted to put into it. And GSG would say this driver works best with this box, that kind of stuff. And then you go out and find an amplifier, and then you would have to add in some kind of DSP if you're doing ported to keep from blowing it up, right? And that's usually kind of tech that you would find built into like a pre-designed and pre-built subwoofer, but you have to bake that stuff in. And now GSG is doing fully finished subwoofers with amplification, that kind of stuff. And it was initially a cost play, right? But it's not so much of a cost play with the finished stuff now as far as lower cost. Great group of folks, and in general, I think their products are really, really good. Especially if you want to do sweat equity and build them yourself, then I think you're doing pretty good. And I kind of think of them as like a less expensive version of JTR, right? Without the special sauce and the amplification, maybe. I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts?
The only ones I've ever heard were like Marty homemade ones, and they were loud. They were ported, so I'm not a ported guy. So, but yeah, I don't know. I've never had any experience with them. They want to send me some, I'll give them the full gamut and do a review of them, but I ain't heard from them. So,
right on. Yeah, in the past, most of their stuff was all ported because they were chasing after the DBs, but they do have seal stuff now, which is more of my jam. And supposedly, if I can get everything together, I'm going to do a review of a 24-inch GSG finished box with a stereo integrity 24 in it, and a speaker power amp. And I'm really looking forward to that. I'm just waiting on Nick at Stereo Integrity to actually build the 24. I've been waiting 3 months now, so we'll see if it actually happens or not. But I'm looking forward to that one. I think that one would be really, really cool. Kenny, have you listened to a GR Research OB 12-inch servo subwoofer?
I have not.
That's a lot of words there. GR Research OB 12-inch servo.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I've heard some servo subs. I just haven't experienced. Well, I'll take that back. I actually built some open baffle subs for myself. They were not servo, but they're different. They are different. It's instead of like pressurizing the room with a box, it's more like they're just moving the air. Like you get hit with the velocity of the air rather than pressurizing the room. So it's a different experience. So I can only say to what I've built myself, which is not on par with what they're doing.
They don't hammer.
Yeah, open baffle doesn't hammer. No, they don't. Yeah,
like I don't even know why this shit's up for debate. Like it's just known. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
Yeah, I've never been like an open baffle kind of guy myself. Just
I've heard some open baffle speakers. They were ugly as hell, but they sounded cool, but like
I don't know, you gotta
started my journey in open baffle.
Better mousetrap, I guess.
Kenny's like, that's my jam. For subwoofers, though?
Not for subwoofers, but for loudspeakers. But then Shane Rich converted me
to the sealed box.
Well, there's a lot of factors that go into it. Room placement, where you put them in a room.
Absolutely.
And the driver's uber critical. Uber critical. You got to cross them over really high. I got a guy who's an electronic engineer, and he's a super cool dude and big time audiophile. I'm going to go in the next week or two over to his place, and he's got some open baffles built in granite. He swears will change. It's a religious experience. We'll go check it out.
That's cool. Yeah. That's cool. Mike says he's looking forward to that review. Me too, Mike. Reach out to Nick and be like, hey, what's up with that Jiles review? Let's go. We'll get that thing going. All right. So we are down to, and I'm gonna be firm and cap this thing off right at about 9 o'clock Mountain Time. So we got another 8 minutes or so.
You're a monster.
I know I'm horrible. But I do want to start going around, and Big Jack 79 has joined. Man, coming in at the end.
What up?
What's up?
What's up?
Glad to have you. And there's still a ton of people that haven't said anything yet. Come on. So last round of questions, and then also we'll do our last round with all of us. So Kenny, anything else you want to surface up to the audience? Anything you want them to know about your stuff that you got going on personally or about the brand?
I'm just big fan of, obviously I'm working for RBH and I wouldn't be there if I didn't love what I did. Really great group of guys I'm working with. Everybody's passionate about audio, and that just, leads to innovation. In fact, the boss has said, no more R&D. We need to work on sales. And well, we haven't stopped. It keeps on going and going.
It never ends.
And yeah, 50th anniversary is coming up. So we've got a couple surprises, coming down the pipe, and they're going to be hopefully earth shattering.
Well, I was surprised by that 33 announcement. I'm super excited by that, dude. That's
just the beginning. It's just the beginning.
I can't wait to hear all the cool. I mean, dude, it's I don't know. Anyway, all right.
He's so committed. He went to the plant department at Home Depot and brought speakers in just to shoot this video.
They're so beautiful. No, I think I don't think those are living plants, are they? I think
I'd kill them in a month.
Yeah.
They're acoustically transparent plants.
They are.
Yeah.
They're diffusers.
Yes.
Diffusers. Yeah.
They're
and they look great.
They do look good. They do look good. Don, what you got? Come on. Tell everybody what's happening, Don. Tell me your streams. Are they started yet?
Tell people no, we're supposed to start at Monday, but I was prepping for surgery. So I figured if I had to run to the bathroom every 5 minutes during my stream, it wouldn't go off too good. Next Monday for sure.
Next Monday, everybody. Next Monday. Don, please send me the link. I want to put that in the comments because I don't have a link for that in the comments. So I want to get that in there.
Yeah. Audioholics YouTube channel.
Yeah. To send. Oh, okay. I can probably just put it. I'll just do it. I will make sure.
That's all right. I got you, Jiles.
I'll make sure it happens. And then since this is on my channel, and this will be nothing that anyone is interested in except maybe me. But I subscribed to some comic books so that I could get them in the mail rather than going to the shop. And comics come out on Wednesdays. So Wednesday is New Comic Day. Each week, every Wednesday, all the comics from all the different companies are on the shelf at the comic book stores. But today's Tuesday, and X-Men number 10 came in the mail today early. And I don't know why I'm so damn excited about getting this comic book one day early.
Because you're a fucking dork.
I love it. It's early. I am a dude. I don't know what the correct term for me is.
Nerd. I don't either.
Dork. Because I love home theater and I love hi-fi. I love 2-channel. I love multi-channel. I love music, movies, and I have a huge love for television shows, right? Not a lot of people are like, I love TV shows, but I absolutely love TV shows, right? I would almost rather watch a TV show, a series, than just a movie, right? I love TV shows, but I also love role playing, D&D, all that stuff. And if you look behind me, dude, that's all like 90% D&D stuff back there. And then comic books too. And I'm just getting back into those. I used to be big, like when I was a teenager. And I'm just starting to get back into that stuff again. So whatever that term is, I'm that. But I also love travel and I love culture and I'm a foodie to a certain extent. So I don't know, maybe I don't know. I love all those things.
I personally love clocking dollars and slapping hoes, but each to their own.
Yeah, I've got plenty for you to deal with. As my wife looks at me, it says, "What is he talking about?" Jiles, please, 1 minute review on SB17, same clarity, tightness, punch as JL Audio. Ooh, okay. So full disclosure, I have not heard the SB17. I have heard the ported 17. There's no way I can't compare it to the JL Audio. The ported, just general kind of things. The ported SB17 has a lot more output, at least in my memory, in my head, than the JL Audio 12-inch sealed. I would rather have a bunch of the JL Audio 12s than the PB17, if that makes sense. Just I don't know. I like it better, but I can't do that comparison. Anybody, Don, can you do that comparison? I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of like I think they're different customers.
Buy a lot more SP17s for the price of the JL Audio.
That's very true. That's extremely true.
And dude, I love JL subs.
Yeah,
love them. They just need to come out with some new shit. It's like 2025. Let's go, chop. Come on.
Their stuff has been around.
A huge engineering division, but they're more interested in boat and car audio than they are in home audio. That's like a tiny piece of what they do. You know, marine audio. And I mean, if JL wanted to make a world beater sub, it cost $80,000, but they could do it. I mean, they could absolutely do it.
For sure.
Their architectural stuff is the best in the business as that I've ever heard.
Right on. Cool. All right. Last call for any questions. I think we might. Bruce says her GSG is developing their own Extreme 18-inch driver. GSG is indeed developing their own driver for their own fully finished, fully GSG audio. Well, although they'll probably just use speaker power plate amps, I'm guessing. But speaker power plate amps are outstanding. They make great amps. So that would be my guess. They're going to have their own 18-inch driver, maybe even 21s, 24s, I don't know, in their own boxes, probably using speaker power, but that is coming. JL Audio Fathom is long in the tooth and seriously overpriced at this point. I think everybody would agree with that.
I mean, you're getting a 12-inch driver that's dated with a mediocre calibration system that JBL has. It's mediocre versus, the SP 17-inch driver, redesigned brand new, and probably the best DSP built into a sub short of per listen. I mean,
very good stuff. I agree with all those. I agree with all of that. Australia SP70 5400, JL Audio 12 6500. Yeah. That's a lot of scratch.
Give you more impact. That's for sure.
Yeah. No,
SPS is a good company, man. Just because they make affordable stuff doesn't mean they don't know how to make badass stuff. They're a good company. They really are.
Oh, SVS, dude, they're an excellent company.
No, they're excellent company.
There are people that. Okay, one of the things that I always hear people is they'll poo-poo on SVS, and they're like, if you want a real subwoofer, you got to go get a JTR or
if you want to take out a loan. I mean, it depends on what your budget is. Some people make $300,000 a year. Some people make 60.
But the SVS stuff is really good, though. I
own SVS.
I don't want people to think that SVS isn't good. It's really good. I would absolutely be happy to put in 4 SB17s in my theater and go to town with it.
And
I guarantee you, I'd be happy.
500 Snow in Okinawa, a dual RBH reference 12 that'll, in my opinion, beat both of those subs. I know it's super musical and come close to the same output. So
what's the cost on that 21, Kenny? Is like 12 or 15 grand or 16 or something?
So
20?
it's 12. It's 12. basically 10 grand for the sub and then 2 grand for the amp. Which we are bundling it together, because we want you to experience all 4,000 watts that it's capable of, and it gets tuned with DSP, with a house curve to really get you linear response down into the infrasonics.
Oh, that's right on. No, I just can't say it enough. I mean, all of your gear is really good. I mean, I got to listen to a bunch of different stuff when I was there, which I'm really thankful for the invite to come out for that. And I hope I can tell the story even more to people that are interested, but the gear is really, really top notch. And you can tell the care that they put into it. They build it all right there. It's all assembled, put together, designed here in the USA. So good times. Yep. Good stuff. Snow in Okinawa says, thanks for the info, Kenny. He's going to contact you soon for shipping costs.
Awesome.
And thanks, Don, and thanks, Jiles. All right. I think that's a really good way to cap off the episode. So everybody out there, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate your patronage. We appreciate your questions, and hopefully we brought a little bit of knowledge and understanding and insight from our points of views into the things that you're interested in. To Kenny, thank you for your time. Thank you for telling the Kenny story as well as the RBH story. And for folks that don't know, that is Kenny's personal system behind him there. He's one of us.
In an apartment.
Might be a little bit crazier.
Maybe a little crazier. And then Don, as always, brother, thank you. I love these chats. I really appreciate it.
I love all these people that come in. You know, even if we go back and forth, you guys are cool. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yep. And Jason caps us off. Thanks, boys. Love the live streams. All right, everybody, take care. See you guys next Tuesday.